I'm back outside. There's a lot of loud noises right now, so forgive me for that. But I was touring the campus of the new school I'm going to right now. It's freaking hot outside. Like, oh my gosh. But today I kind of want to talk about how you can't ask questions for things you already know. You just can't. I've been doing that for I think the past 2 months. I didn't realize it because I thought I was just asking for advice. But you know the truth deep down. There was a guy I was talking to, and I would talk to my friends just complaining about it. Oh my gosh, he's so this, that. He's not good for me, blah, blah, blah. I know this. I'm very well aware of it. And then I wouldn't talk to him for like a month. And then I'd end up running into him or something. And then we'd go back at it for a week, and I'd still be like, oh my gosh, he's still disgusting. Like, I still hate him. And then I'd stop talking to him again. The thing is, I kept asking my friends for advice. Not even. I was just like, he's so bad. I don't know should I just block him? They'd be like, honestly, yeah. But guess what? I never do it. And then I just realized, you either keep complaining about something, because you're complaining to your friends, right, about something you already know is bad. And you either just talk their ear off to the point where they don't want to hang out with you because all you talk about is this guy who you already know is bad for you. And they already told you that they know he's bad for you. So, excuse me, that becomes the topic of conversation for people when they see you. Because they know, oh, she's always going to talk about her boyfriend. Or he's always going to talk about his crazy girlfriend who put a tracker in his car. Like, he's always going to talk about her, but he's never going to leave her. You either shut up and stay with the person because you know they're not going to change. It's very rare that people change. I feel like if you don't see change within, you should really think the first time you meet someone, that's going to be the way they are for the next 3 years of their life. In all honesty, no one can change within a week. That's just ridiculous. You can't even change yourself within a week. If you have really bad sleeping habits, you think, oh, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. No, you're not getting up, babe. No. You fell asleep at 2 a.m. You think you're going to get up in 5 hours and really be like, I'm going to get through this and pump? No, you're not. You're not. And I can promise you that. So it's either you shut up and you stay with this person you know is not going to change, at least for 3 years. And you're obviously not going to change because you can't change somebody else. Or you leave them. You don't need to ask advice for something you already know is not meant for you. And I think that was my biggest issue within like the past few months because I kept asking advice for something that I knew I just had to get up and do. How do I clean my room? I don't know. Just do it. How do I bake stuff? I don't know how to bake. I don't look up a recipe. Like, there are things that are so simple that we just try and avoid because we overcomplicate it in our brains because we just don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, at least be honest with yourself. You don't have to do it. Nothing is mandatory in the world for you, except for, eating, drinking, and sleeping. That is mandatory. If you don't do that, you're going to die. That's just like what your body naturally desires. You don't have to clean your room if you don't want to. But are you going to complain about sitting in the mess that you made and then not do a thing about it? That's just going to be your issue. But you can't just talk your ear off. Complaining does nothing. It literally helps nobody. It feels good. It feels like you're doing something, you're like, oh yeah, well, at least I'm aware of it. Who gives a crap? Like, who cares if you're aware of it? No one cares. Congrats. Oh, the sky's blue. Congratulations. Like, no, that's not it. You have to actually do something about it. And even now, I'm kind of like, I want to reach out to a few people because I'm like, oh, I really want to do this and that. But I'm like, I'm going to reach out to them and then never do anything. That's just it. I'm going to ask them, hey, what did you do for this? And they're going to say, oh, I did this. And then I'm not going to do it. I feel like asking for advice is such a big block for me because it feels progressive, but I'm not doing any of the steps along the way. I once went up to a girl in my math class at the beginning of the semester, and I noticed she was getting really good grades. Like, she was finishing everything within 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, I know she got 100 though. So I went up to her one day after class within like the first maybe 2 weeks, and I asked her, what do you do, right? She's like, oh, I watch a video and then I watch the video for the lecture, and then I train myself for about an hour, and I'm usually good. Like, I've memorized everything because I've repeated it with my brain so much. Maybe the next day I'll go back to it and I'll do 5 problems, and I'll just keep testing myself, right? And I was like, oh, that's smart. Yeah, like, I should do that. And then I never did it. What was the goal? What was the point of that? And her advice was great. And honestly, if I had followed that instead of just trying to skim through it the way I did, because what I would do is I would speed up the video. I would speed up the video 2 times speed. I would skip through sections where I thought it was too repeatable. And then I'd get to class and I'd fail everything because I didn't do it. We ask for advice that we know we already should be doing. Like, we ask for advice when we know we should just be reading the actual thing we were being given. You know what I mean? Like, we want to watch a summary of a book we're reading. Just read the book. Just read it. What are you doing? Like, you have all this time on the planet. You want to scroll on your phone for 40 minutes instead of just reading the script. Like, it's literally the easiest thing. Sometimes we just don't want to follow the basics. And then we ask for advice of how to skip it. You can't skip it, babe. You have to go through with it. And I didn't realize that was such a block until, like, maybe a few weeks ago. And then I was like, crap. You know, because now I'm thinking, I want to reach out to that person, but I'm like, I'm not going to do that until I do something about it. All right? I got to do my own steps to get there. Okay, now what? And you can't try and predict the future. You can't try and skip ahead, trying to do something in advance for something that you already know. You know what I mean? I feel like I sound very redundant. I could really only give my example of what I'm thinking of. It's like with school. You can't reach out to tutors, you know, asking them for advice on something that you haven't even started the class for. What are you asking advice for? Oh, what do I bring to class? Dude, just bring a pencil and paper. Like, what are you talking about right now? You know what I mean? You just gotta do it. It's really, and it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. Like, okay, yeah, I have to show up to class. Duh, you signed up for the class. You signed up for it. You wanted it. You're there for a reason. You chose it to some degree. And I mean, even now with things I want to progress forward with, I'm kind of lost right now, but I'm like, you know what? I might as well just try it. You can start things the wrong way. That's not a big deal. You can bake cookies and burn them in the end. You know, you might have followed the recipe right, but you might have got the timing wrong. That's okay. You can do it again. You know what I mean? You're not limited in this world. You get multiple tries at some things. Obviously. Like, it's not a life or death scenario. It's just cookies. It's just a class. It's just one day. You can do something again tomorrow. At least you tried it today. Tomorrow, when it becomes today, or when... That sounded kind of odd. When tomorrow becomes today, and you wake up that day, and you think, what am I going to do? You're going to think, I'm going to have to try again. And it may be really tiring. And it may be exhausting. But at least you know how long to time your cookies for. And everything is trial and error. And it freaking sucks. But don't spend your day asking advice and ask your friends, hey, how do I bake cookies? And then never bake the cookies. You know. Just search up the recipe. Just go buy a book. Go get your grandma over or someone who already bakes cookies and help them do it with you. Hey, sometimes I need someone to guide me through the process because I can't read for crap. I suck at reading. I can't read instructions. And I'm getting better at it because I'm learning now that you have to read it to understand stuff. If you have to. Sometimes I force myself to take notes. I even take notes on recipes because I like to just skim it and then go, I'm just going to do a little bit of this and that. My baking never comes out right. Why do you think? And don't ask, like, I gotta stop asking for advice. And I don't know, maybe this resonates with you because you always think, oh, I'm doing the right thing, you know, I'm reaching out to the right people, I'm asking the right questions, but you're not doing the right thing. Okay, you're asking your teacher, what does this mean? But you're not writing it down. You're gonna ask it the next day and they're gonna be like, oh, well, I already told you. Duh. Because you're not learning it. You're not trying and you're not learning and you're not... There's no... What's the word? Pattern recognition. There's no pattern recognition. There's nothing for you. You're a lost cause. Like, you really have to just try it and understand it. And so now, every time I do something, I try and write down notes. I write down notes for books. I put annotations in books. If I like something, I'll sometimes take a picture of it and I'll look at it the next day. Like, you just really have to try and do it. Stop asking for advice. It doesn't help. No one ever helps you either. They don't know what they're doing either. You just got to figure it out on your own. And that's one of my lessons for this week. So I'm definitely trying to figure out my stuff, but hey, it's trial and error. Otherwise, I hope you guys have had a great day. Otherwise, have a good week, you guys. Stay safe.